Are we live now? Hello, good evening. Hello. Are we there? Good evening, this is Dolapo Ijaluwoye. I'm the owner of Grace's Cake Nigeria. And as the name says, we are specialized in making cakes, or different types of cakes. We do desserts, we do wedding cakes, we do birthday cakes, we do all occasion cakes. I'm happy to be here this evening. Hi Zimbabwe! I'm really happy to be here this evening. And I believe I'm here to share my story and to encourage you, because we all know, right, in 2020 that cake making is a business. So we're going to be dealing with the business part of cake making. And as you know, especially in Nigeria here, cake making is a luxurious business and is a profitable business. I'll say that because we have many young girls, young men, we have old people, young people coming into the industry, and they are staying. When we are talking about staying, that means that they can bring something home to take care of their families after they must have sold a cake or two. And that's, I would say, that's profitable. So, Grace's Cake started from the house, like every cake maker in Nigeria. And what we are happy about is that we have grown from one customer to hundreds of customers who have formed our bedrock of business, and have even encouraged us to go into something that is more than Grace's Cake. So I would say for the past about 11 years, we have been making cakes, and we have been growing in that aspect. Let me start with a story. You know, after youth service in 2000, no, that is in 1999, and Nigeria, I would say, was not open to even many young girls or many young women, men into entrepreneurship. What we believed then was to finish school, do the national service of 1 year, and after that you start looking for a job, and we call it blue collar job, where you'll be paid salary. But growing up, I know I can be satisfied with going to work and earning a salary. I just want to do something that I like. But what do I like? I tell you, I didn't know then. I studied purchasing and supply. I was actually aspiring to become a material management consultant. But you see, the Nigerian economy then may not have a chance for somebody like me. So I started looking for a job. I started looking for a job of a storekeeper or a store officer, because I have my degree. And you found out that, oh, have you done your professional exams? And I would say, yes, I have my professional certificate. But you may still have to probably start from being a clerk or an office assistant. Because of my qualification, I had higher national diploma. They didn't even consider that I labored very well, you know, to have a 2-1. They didn't consider that at all. So we have preference over here in Nigeria then too. If you have BSc, you have better chance of being employed than when you have HND. So that's how my journey began. You know, you have to seek the face of God. That's what I did. I had to ask God, what do you want me to do? And you know, God will always talk to you in your own language. And what God told me then was deliveries. Deliveries. And I said, deliveries. Yes, I did purchasing and supply. I know logistics very well. I can do delivery. But what about what I'm delivering? What am I delivering? And he said, cake. I laughed. Cake. How could it be cake? My mother wasn't baking. I didn't know anybody that probably is baking cakes or baking snacks even. I didn't know anything about cake. I didn't imagine it could be something I could venture into 11 years later, making money through it. So I was just there, writing down all the things God told me to do. And there's still some things in my list that I have not done yet. So when he said cake delivery, I said, okay, let me start looking for where I can learn how to make cakes. That's exactly what came to me then. And I have this word, and that's what I tell my people every time, that I went into apprenticeship. That is training under somebody that knows better than you, or that is professional in that aspect. So one day in church, we're all introducing ourselves, and somebody just got up and said, I make cakes. Wow. It just sank into my spirit. I make cakes. Then after the meeting, I went to meet her. That, can I learn how to make cakes? And she said, I can talk to her the following time we see in church. So I went to her the following time and I said, can I learn how to make cakes? And you know, she was so good and kind. She obliged me. I said, yes, I work from home right now, but you can come. You can be coming during the week. When will you be able to come? I told her maybe 3 times a week. And that was how I started. With then the first walk-in shop cake in Nigeria. You can walk into the shop, pick up a cake, and have your celebration. So I started then. I would go to her, I think 3 times a week. Then I started getting very, very interested in cake making. I would see the sugar flowers, I would see the butter icing, I would see the way everywhere smelling good. Smelling very, very good of cake making, of cakes, sorry. And I will look, I will just want to touch everything. Touch the cake, feel the cake, perceive the cake, touch the butter icing, involve myself with the flowers. I was very interested. How the passion came, I didn't know myself, but I know God actually had hand in it. Then when I have 1 minute or so away from the kitchen, I'll go to one part of our living room, sit down, take the textbooks on cake making. You see various lovely designs there. Check the albums, the past work this woman has made. Wow. They were into my face like this. I will study them. I will look into the books. See, I would say majority of the books, of the designs were created. I will take them from the scratch, you know. When you get a cake, you get the board, the size of the board, the size of the cake, whether we are carving it out or we are just decorating, putting fondant on them, whether we are modeling anything on top, you know, all those things are so fascinating. Getting the right size, getting the, you know, to make an object or a cake object, getting all those aspects. I was looking into them in details. I believe that's what she saw when she said, okay, I'm opening up a shop or a baking shop rather, and I would like you to manage it. Wow, it was like a blow. God, you knew I wanted to go to UK to study logistics. Lord, where will this come at this time? This is not what I wanted to do, make cakes. Yes, you said delivery, but making cakes, you know, and I said she should give me time. But meanwhile, this my madam, this my oga, that's a Nigerian language, this my boss, she was even interested in me going to UK. She helped me sign my papers. The day I had my interview, she drove me to the embassy for my postgraduate in supply chain and management in the UK. Jesus. She went with me. Meanwhile, she had asked me to manage the new office for her. So when the interview came out and I didn't pass, I just like resigned. In fact, I didn't try a second time. I just told her that, hello, let's do this together, let's work together. Then I wasn't managing, she was training me. I was involved in the baking, the decoration, the management, the customer service, every aspect of cake making and management. The business in entirety, I was involved in it from every department that we had then. So that's how I grew, and I spent 7 years with her. That's my story on that training. During my time with her, we started the first cake shop. Then we opened another one in another area in the city. Then another one. Then we now went from our own first shop to a much bigger place. So during this span of 7 years, we have 3 fully operating cake service shops or offices, I will call it, and they make their presence known in Nigerian economy. And after the 7 years, I look up and I think I was prompted to leave the place. So I started my own cake shop that didn't even have a name then. Because immediately my send-off was over in August 2009. In September, people started calling me for cake, and I had to tell them that I have left the cake industry. I'm involved in something else. In fact, I was doing grocery delivery then. I do home-to-home grocery delivery, and I also supply some companies. So I said, no, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I just want to do deliveries. I want to supply. Then my husband called me and said, look, the job you have handled for 7 years, you know, in business management, when you are involved with something like that for 5 years, you should be able to do something with it. You should be able to start a business with what you are capable of doing. I took his advice, took my severance, went to the market, got the oven, got the equipment that I need to start baking. My first baking was wonderful. And I didn't sleep. I had to try and try and try again until I got my own recipe, and it came out very fine. The following day, I spent like 24 hours trying out my recipes and making sure that I got the right size, the right dome, the right texture of my first vanilla cake on that day. That was September 6th, I think. So my husband encouraged me. I made the cake. My butter icing wasn't so good, but I tried. I still have the picture. I tried, and that is how we started. Repeating what I did yesterday, today, tomorrow actually makes my hand to be stronger in whatever I do, whether it's butter icing or fondant. Then the job started coming in, and my husband said, look, this is our living room. that is your baking shop over there. There's no how you will get a customer that wants to bake with you that will not pass through the living room, and they are becoming, you know, they are increasing in number. I think it's time that we get a shop. I started in 2009 at home. Then in 2011, we had to look out for somewhere that can improve the business. So I moved out of the house in 2011 February. And the journey started, baking to people you don't even know that can come back and say, I didn't like this. This is what I like. And you start to develop your temperament as a business owner. You start to develop your integrity, your character, your management. As people that you don't know start coming to you to ask for the product that you have for them. And I would say product and services because both of them go hand in hand. Then my staff strength started growing too. And in no time, after 4 or 5 years in that particular place, after taking the whole length of the shop area, we kept improving, we kept increasing in numbers also and in staff strength. So the problem started, you know, where are we going to move to? A good area to move to, a good space to move to. And we got one after 5 years, and that is where we are now. This is a place that is convenient for us, that is convenient for our customers, and we can do our business to our best advantage. So this evening, actually, I want us to discuss partly characters of business owners. Why do I say that? It's because as a cake maker, let me say that you are already involved with how you handle your fondant, how you handle your butter, how you handle your whipping cream, how you handle your designs, how you talk to your customers on their choice, how you handle all these things, you know, in the professional way. But how do we handle our character? I want to tell you that I have grown in this business character-wise. You want to try? I don't like to borrow anything, even money, after some experience in my life. But I tell you, I went to finance school in 2015, and it opened my eyes to how loans can help our business. Because when we wanted to move to our present place, I was afraid. What I had with me was the next rent and few other money, because what I do, I invest back into my business. I invest back always into my business. I don't spend all the money. I save up the money, see a need in my business, and I put it into it, whether in tools, whether in structure, whether in equipment, in anything that I know is progressive about the business, whether in training. I put money into it to make sure that we get better the following year. And this is always like a monthly thing for me, or a quarterly thing, or a biannual thing, or a yearly thing. I just make sure that I make a timely progression about growth. So when we got to this point where we need a bigger place, I have to get a loan. I was afraid because it wasn't comfortable. But I look forward to where I was going to. Because if I had missed this particular location, I tell you, maybe we wouldn't be where we are today. And you see, actually when I was looking at it, it was so simple. I said, oh, you need 12 million. You need 12 million for this place. And it was so simple. You need 13, you need 14. It was so simple to me because I have looked around, okay, how am I going to raise the money? But you know, the assurance is there that you're going to make the money, you're going to pay it back. And you know, that was the first time I'll go out for loans. And it was difficult because no bank will actually attend to you in Nigeria if you are a first timer. So I had to go to a microfinance, which charge higher than what a commercial bank will charge. But to God's glory, we were able to pay back in 10 months. That's wonderful. And it encouraged me. So whatever we were having after then was just to put into the business and make the business grow. Now the business has grown from just a cake shop to a cafe, which is growing gradually too, and people are enjoying our service. Now I said I wanted to talk about characters. One, I talk about getting loans now. Getting a loan doesn't mean that you are going to fall down one day and you'll not be able to pay back your loan, or that you are not going to be what you want to be. Getting the loan meant to me, and I used to tell people that is a quantum leap. I leapt from level 1 to level 5. That's what happened in my case. And it helped me a lot. So how am I disciplined? I need to be disciplined about what comes in. So what I always go after every month before any other thing was to go for the amount I'm repaying that month. I'll go for the amount I'm repaying from them and save it up, then do something else with the remaining. I make sure that I don't overstock, that I don't buy things that I don't need. I make sure that I cut my staff strength and I put myself into work. I doubled up. If I'm doing like 50% before, I made sure that I was putting in 100%, because I know it's just for a short period of time to recover after paying back the loans. So I did that. So if you are looking at a quantum leap, I'll say approach your bank, negotiate on a good interest, and work hard at it. You will do it, and it will be fine at the end. So I also want to talk about discipline. Discipline generally is not majorly on money, but in character. Are you fond of wearing nice clothes? Maybe nice clothes will stay for a while until you build your business onto the level you can afford it conveniently. Because you see, the clothes that you have worn cannot pay it back. You can't pay it back. So if you are actually business oriented, if you are looking towards building your business, you may have to keep aside some flimsy things and focus on this business. Whether you need to save up for your training, whether you need to save up for equipment, you need to leave the flimsy thing and focus on your business. And that's the only thing that can pay you after all. And you know, all these things takes time. We are building business. I said, okay, we are into 10 years, 11 years in this business. But this is not the end of the business. We improve in value, we go, whether it's to even open another branch or something, you understand, all these need us to be committed and be disciplined about our visions, about our missions, which I believe we might have written down already, because I've listened to some broadcasts on this channel. So we must have written down our visions, we must have written down our missions, we must have written down our goals, our yearly goal, our 5 years plan, what we want to be at that time. Yes, the world is unstable, but there's still something that I've known. You don't just stop because the world is unstable. If you are stable yourself, you are just good to go. If you are stable yourself, because it is the environment. I know sometimes we have some things that we cannot control, like this COVID-19 period. We can't control what is happening right now. but we can control what happens to us. Are we keeping safe? Are we eating healthy? Those are still things that are pertain to our goal, because it's the healthy body that can achieve whatever you might have put down as your goals, whether a yearly goal or your goal in 5 years' time. So I also want to talk about working hard. Everybody knows me to be a hard worker. I work, I sleep, but I work. It's because I put a good percentage of my daily 24 hours, which is given to everybody in the world, I put it into working than playing. I have my playtime, absolutely. I may decide right now, my status, not to go to the office, not to lift my finger, you understand. But my brain is working anyway, but I can decide to take rest. Okay, today I won't be at the office, but I can do some other things to improve myself. I can watch YouTube channels, I can watch live programs, I can check on Google for designs. I can do so many things at my resting time to add value to myself. I can decide to just start talking to customers I have not heard from for a while, chatting them up. I do that at least once a week to make sure that I'm still abreast of what is going on in the world, in our industry. So I also want to talk about being honest. Being honest. Okay, let me tell you this scenario. In my business, I try as much as possible not to lie, and I try as much as possible not to encourage my staff to lie, because it will always bounce back on you. Your integrity matters in any way, especially when you are building up or even when you are there. Your yes should be yes, your no, nay should be nay. Because customers are also human beings. They are also human beings. They have brain. They have emotions. They are all just like you. And they can actually put one or two together to make a whole. So you have a cake that you're supposed to deliver maybe at 2 p.m. and actually you've not started on the cake. And the cake was to be cut maybe that evening, the evening of that day or the following morning. And the customer calls you to check that, hello, is my cake on the way? Or is my cake ready? Can I pick it up now? And what came out of your mouth is that the cake is ready. Meanwhile, you have not baked the cake. And the person comes to pick up his cake or her cake, and alas, the cake is not ready. At that point in time, what do you expect the customer to feel? In my own case, and what happens to us over here, we don't lie. We will tell the customer, we are very sorry, we missed out your order. I don't know if anybody does this, but over here, we don't cover up so much. We tell you, we're sorry, we missed out your order. Thank you for calling us, and we are very glad. We appreciate this call because it would have meant that we fail you. But we know we have a process that can bring out a cake in 3 hours or less than that. So what we do is apologize to the person. If the time the person is supposed to pick up, we pass before the cake is ready, we offer to deliver the cake free of charge. But if it's not passed, we are safe, right? But at that point, we make sure that we tell the person that we missed out your cake, but we will get right on it and we will do exactly what you wanted us to do. It has happened before. It may happen again. But what usually encourages us is that the customer understands. So we try as much as possible to get to the emotion of the customer, appeal to their emotion, appeal to to their loved being that we are sorry, we are really, really sorry, but we make sure that we deliver your cake to you at the right time so you will not miss the occasion. But to be very candid, that we miss somebody's order entirely, I'm not aware of it. I'm not saying we have a perfect system here, but I'm saying that as much as possible, we watch one another's back in this office, right from the customer service to the person that we deliver the cake. We watch your back. We have our job orders. We have the time they're picking up, and we keep checking. Nobody is assumed to be the perfect person over here, but we keep checking on you. We keep checking on the job orders. We keep checking on the diaries. We keep checking on the people decorating the cake to make sure that all of us are in line and that we are working towards the same purpose. So that is how we work here. We work together towards the same purpose. Oh man, this is a wonderful time with you. Okay, now I also want to talk about managing people and managing talent. As a business owner, even when you go through several stages of interviewing people to work with you, whether as junior staff or as senior staff, at that point in time, you can't have all the talent they're ready to give you. And that is our management of people and their talents coming. There is a way we do here. When you come in afresh, we take you through all the departments to know what we do here. So at every department, I start checking out your strengths and your weakness. If actually I employ you for a particular department, and I put you in that particular department and you are not functioning, it is my duty to rotate you in all the departments and find your strength. So it takes patience, it takes encouragement on my own part, it takes looking at it carefully, it takes loving, it takes all you need to make sure that they boom under you. And that is when you can have lasting support in your business. Because today, if all my staff leave me, I'm in trouble, because personally I can't handle all the orders that will come in. So I need to manage them. I need to discipline them. I need to watch out for their talent. I need to watch out for their strengths and their weakness. Their weakness should not be something that will affect the business also. If their weakness is something like maybe the person is a thief or the person is a liar, those two, they don't usually work with me quite right. You understand? Because I won't be able to tell who you are. So that is Daisy. If I catch you stealing my things, that will be the end of you in the office over here in our company. If I catch you lying, you are giving warnings until you learn that lying is actually a weakness. You need to comfort with the truth. You need to say the truth at all times, so all of us can work together in that light. So those are the things that I look for also for the growth of the company. I look for my staff well-being. I make sure they are okay. If you are actually weak, we send you home to rest a little and come back. And we usually give annual leave also, whereby you take time off work. We don't call you. We don't ask you to come back to work for anything. We accept that you are away and you need your rest. So that also happens here. We watch ourselves. We watch our back. And I think I'm rounding up because I have exhausted my list. Hello, Zimbabwe. Hello, Nigeria. I may have to go off right now. Then we continue in the comments for your questions. Thank you very much. Bye.